Stage 4 of addiction. I can almost guarantee if you've reached stage 4, late stage addiction, right now, you are suffering. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sobriety and Silver. I woke up sober again this morning because I went to bed sober last night. Today is 1,157 days of continuous sobriety. Day 193 of stacking silver, living life, loving life, and enjoying the hell out of sobriety. Now, I've been living life and loving life and enjoying the hell out of sobriety for 1,157 days because I've been sober. But I really am having a good time because now I'm doing YouTube, stacking silver, saving some money, and figuring out what it is I want to do with my life. All right, stage 4 of addiction, late stage. If you have made it to this stage, you are suffering right now. There's no beating around the bush on this. Stage 4 of addiction is when your body starts shutting down. 1 is initial use, 2 is abuse, 3, you're physically and mentally addicted to the substance, but 4 is when things are getting critical. Right now, in stage 4, a decision has got to be made. It's getting critical right now because late stage addiction is when, I'll just use myself and what I went through as an example to give you ideas of what you can look forward to in stage 4 of addiction, alcoholism more specifically. Each substance has a different effect on the body as far as the stages, and if you are on something other than alcohol, I do encourage you to look up what those stages are, but stage 4 in any type of drug use is never good. It just may affect different parts of the body. Alcohol really doesn't discriminate. It just attacks everything. I can tell you my muscles shut down. I was not withdrawing. I had actually drank and was drinking quite heavy, but my muscles shut down. I couldn't get out of the bed. And again, no withdrawal. I was fully functioning as far as mentally, well, as best as you can in late stage alcoholism. But my muscles wouldn't work. They felt like they were water. I mean, that's about the only way I can describe it. My wife took me to the emergency room, one of many visits to the emergency room this poor woman had to do with me. But on this particular occasion, when she went to get me to and from the car, I had to put my arm around her and lean on her. I couldn't hardly walk. I looked pathetic, and I felt it was just a very weird feeling for your muscles to shut down on you. And this is part of alcoholism, the late stage alcoholism. And again, I'm going to repeat this several times. You are in the critical stage if this is happening to you. Some of the things that can happen is it will affect your pancreas. Big time affect the stomach lining, your gastrointestinal lining. And you start having problems with that, you are miserable. And it has something, I can't remember the name of it, alcohol-induced, basically kind of like heartburn, but it's a volcano. It's not your typical heartburn, it's a volcano. Everything just feels raw, and I went through that too. Problems with your esophagus, where the alcohol is burned, the lining of your esophagus, I went through that. I had a heart attack at age 50 and had a quadruple bypass. And even the doctor, my surgeon, stated that I was very young for somebody to have a quadruple bypass. And that's as a result, I promise I can talk tonight, y'all, of alcoholism. Let's see, what else? I mentioned the pancreas, so I do have type 2 diabetes that I have to take medication for every day for the rest of my life as a result of alcoholism. What's some of the other things? I should have wrote them down, but I hate writing stuff down because then I don't sound like myself when I'm talking to you guys and trying to give you information. I try to go through the late stages or all the stages of alcoholism based on what happened to me. And that's about the best way I can do it. So if you have made it to this stage, and I keep saying if you have made it to this stage because a lot of people don't make it to this stage because in stage 2 and 3, you may have had some legal problems. And you are somewhere right now where you don't want to be. You may have been involved in an accident and are no longer around because of drugs or alcohol. So if you are in stage 4 of addiction, you may have experienced some of those things, and I did too. I had the legal problems. I had the car accidents and the DUI. I had all of that. There's not much that I did not experience in my 28 years of drinking and using drugs. So again, critical stage. It's time now. It's really time to do something about this because your health is suffering. You may have one of those issues. You may have multiple issues. The one that's really critical that is irreversible is Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Sorry. And that's basically known as wet brain. And wet brain, again, it's irreversible. Alcohol blocks the brain from producing thiamine, which is vitamin B1, which is critical for the body. So when that shuts off or when that depletes, the best way I can describe it to someone that doesn't know what it is picture in the movies, or maybe you've seen it in real time, is, the bum on the street who just stands there in dirty clothes. He maybe has urine stains on the front of his pants or her pants. And they just look lost. Basically, they are. That's called wet brain. Their brain is basically just like a sponge now. The alcohol has done its damage. Their only purpose is to feed their body with more alcohol. Really don't. Their diet is gone. It's wet brain, and it's irreversible. And I'm so blessed that I did not get to that stage or get to that syndrome, because there's really no warning to it. When you get to stage 3 or stage 4, you never know when that next drink is going to cause wet brain. It's not like a slow process. It's almost like a light switch. So I encourage anybody, man, if you are in this stage, if you're having health problems, if you can't stop, seek help, because stage 4, man, I'll put it this way, stage 5 is where you've admitted you have a problem, you got help, and you may have relapsed. So this is it. Stage 4, there ain't another one after this. Very critical. Take a look at yourself. If you're going to the hospital a lot, if you have stomach issues, if you have problems with walking, if you have heart problems, if your throat is raw, if your memory is shot, if you are in critical condition, I'll put it that way. That is stage 4 of alcoholism. Now, I promised one of my viewers that left a comment that I would share this story about how I got clean and sober. And I am going to do that for this person. I had tried several times, years and years and years of drinking. I was in late stage, stage 4, and I wanted to quit. I didn't want to drink anymore, but I couldn't stop. And I'd been to several rehabs, several hospitals. Oh, I went to a psych ward one time for I think 72 hours, or maybe it was 48 hours. I can't remember. It's been a while ago, but it just all the process. I had tried everything. I'd tried cold turkey. My wife sat with me in hotel rooms, helping me withdraw, buying me juices and giving me bananas and things like that. And I'd go through the whole withdrawal process, and then within a week or so, I was drinking again. But how it stuck this time was after my wife had taken me to the hospital. One time she had to call an ambulance on me because I couldn't get out of bed, and she was scared to death, crying, just scared to death. And the ambulance showed up. Well, police officers had to come also, and no legal issues or anything like that. But one of the police officers, I think it was a police officer. It may have been one of the ambulance crew. I can't remember for sure, but I think it was a police officer. Was 2 years sober. And why that stuck with me, I don't know. But I ended up getting a hold of the VA, and the VA got me hooked up to go to a rehab. And the morning of my rehab, the morning I was supposed to be there, I almost didn't go. I almost backed out. And I told my wife, I said, I can do this myself. I'll get this taken care of. Well, luckily I didn't do that. I drove myself, and I ended up at a place in Oklahoma for 45 days. And this place really changed my life. The place had a lot to do with it. But what got me clean and sober, and what made me realize that this was going to stick this time, was I was sitting in a morning class. It was probably 8:30 in the morning, and of course in rehab you have classes every day. And we had a pastor come in, and he just he was going to give a class on the steps. I think it was step 3 he was going to do. But his routine, apparently, it wasn't apparently, but I had only been there about 7 days, 5 or 7 days, something like that. So I was still going through the newness of being sober and not going through hardcore withdrawal, because they had medically walked me through that. And I say this in plenty of my videos. If you're going to go through withdrawal, alcohol withdrawal, I do encourage you, please seek medical help, get medical advice, because it can be dangerous. But anyway, this preacher, this pastor, he started the class off with a moment of silence. And it wasn't your typical moment of silence. It was a long moment of silence. And he would say just briefly and almost whisper, breathe in, and these are not the exact words, but I'll give you an example. He'd say stuff like, breathe in hope, breathe out anxiety. That, and he would repeat different phrases like that. And while he was doing that, I had the absolute greatest feeling of peace and warmth I had ever in my life experienced, and have ever experienced since then. I've never felt that. And, no angels came down, the lights didn't flicker and all that. It was just the most warm, peaceful, content feeling I had ever in my life felt. And at that point is when God took my alcoholism away from me. And I have not craved alcohol since. I went through the full 45-day program. It was completely different than any other rehab I had gone to because I was fully engaged in it. I would call my wife, and just something about, I guess, in my voice, she knew something was different. You know, she wasn't going to commit to, hey, he's really got it this time. But I did. God took it from me. I give all the glory to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He healed me. And I'm here right now talking to you guys because of him. Because I was in the late stages of alcoholism, and I probably wouldn't be here right now. If you guys have not subscribed, we are at 780 subscribers right now. I'm trying to get to 1,000. And when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I am going to do a giveaway. It is going to be a 1 troy ounce silver freedom seed, and I think it's a 45. Pardon me, I am sniffling. I'm going to put you guys on hold for a second. All right, my sincerest apologies. I was suffering from the sniffles there. All right, again, 1 troy ounce silver freedom seed to somebody once we hit 1,000 subscribers. And Coin Shop Chris is sending at least another 1 troy ounce to add to the giveaway. So somebody's going to win 2 ounces of silver. I want to say something. I do realize that I have not been talking a whole lot about silver. And the name of my channel is Sobriety and Silver. But the reason I haven't is sobriety is my #1 focus. I love silver. I love stacking silver. I love buying silver. I actually got some this weekend from Hero Bullion. I have to mail them a check out, but I secured it, and I got 2 2-ounce rounds, a half-ounce round, and a 1/10 round for $153. So I thought that was a good price with free shipping from Hero Bullion. But I'm on eBay. I'm everywhere looking for the best deal I can find. So again, I love stacking silver. This is a way for me and my wife to preserve wealth. It's a hedge against inflation. Nobody knows what's going to happen with these crazy times we're going through right now. I love the 40 percenters. I do understand a lot of people don't care for them. I do. My local coin shop, most of the time, will buy them for melt value. It just depends on how many they have and if they need them. What else we got going on here? This is an 18-minute video. Well, before I wrap this video up, I do my very best to portray the dangers of addiction. And I use my own personal experience that I went through to give examples of each stage of addiction. And I hope this is helping somebody. I hope that if it's not helping you, maybe you have a family member. My email is in every description of my videos. If you have a family member or a friend or somebody that may just want to reach out and talk, by all means, give them my email address. Let them watch this. Let them know that there are other people out there that understand and will not judge and doesn't care how many times you've relapsed. As long as you keep trying to get clean and sober, eventually it will stick. And you will love the new you. You will absolutely love life. You will appreciate every single day. And that phrase I use, go to bed sober because you'll wake up sober, it's not just a catchphrase. It is something that I do every day. Every day, the ultimate goal for anyone in sobriety is to go to bed sober. Because if you go to bed sober, unless something weird happens during the night, you're going to wake up sober. And you can start the day fresh. You'll start living and loving life, guys. Believe you can do it. Keep trying. Don't worry about how many times you've relapsed. Just keep it up. Keep giving it all you got. You guys have a wonderful, beautiful rest of the evening, and I will see y'all in the next video.